Welcome. In front of me is a THL T7, and today I'll show you a couple of tweaks and tricks that you can do on your device. So starting off, we will begin with the mirror vision, which you can find in settings under the display. So let's go there. Display right here. And it's the first option, as you can see right here. So you want to tap on the bars over here to get the menu. And quick mode, you have option, by default it's set to standard, which I'm not sure if you can see the difference in image quality that is displayed here. It basically makes the image a little bit more saturated, looking a little bit more colorful. You can also select the user mode, and then also there is a contrast, dynamic contrast, and it's also by default disabled. And if I disable it, you will see the image go a little bit wider. And what it does is make the shadows stay kind of darkish, while the entire image seems a little bit brighter or more colorful without like a tint to it in a way, as you can see by me just flipping it on and off on the images that you can get. As you can see, basically makes it a little bit more clear in a way. Not sure how to otherwise describe it. So yeah, now moving on, we're gonna go into the other thing, which is Daydream. And what it does is whenever you have the phone docked or plugged in, so it's also under the display, so where is it? Right here. So when you tap on the three dots, when to Daydream, you can have while docked, while charging, or you can choose both of them. And what it will do is, as an example, you can start it now without plugging it in. It will, well, right now display colors of rainbow, but you have option to also show, for instance, clock. So as you can see now, it's set to clock, and if I start it, whenever you're charging the phone, it will be displaying your time on the phone. So fairly nice thing as a, I guess, like a bedside clock if you need that. And you can also change it to something like a photo frame or table. And to select this and just select images here, you can enable it also. I think it will show me nothing because there's no photos on the phone, or I guess find something. Not sure what it's actually displaying right now, considering there is no photos on here. But yeah, so you can choose what you want and also customize it by selecting videos or photos only, or both. So it's one thing. Now moving on, we're gonna go into the thing that is kind of useful if you're using public transportation, which is hide password. But it can work in many places, for instance, where it's crowded and someone was, for instance, peeking over your shoulder, or you just don't want them to see your password, for instance. And what I mean is, you can basically hide the password when you're typing a password in. It normally displays a first letter, and succeeding when you type in, continue to type in, it will hide the letter one and again display the most recent one as a visible letter. And there is a way to remove it by going into the security, and it is make password visible. Now by default it is enabled, but you can disable it, and now whenever you type in a password, it will always be hidden right from the start. Whenever you type the first letter in, it will be just a dot. So that is very handy in my opinion. And moving on, we're gonna go into the schedule reset. The phone should be restarted like once a week, roughly, for the phone to work best and basically improve the longevity of the device. And there is an option to do so here. And by default, it's disabled, and you can enable it by just flipping it on. And also by tapping on it, you can set when it repeats and when it basically turns on and off. So right now it's set to turn off once a week on Friday. By default, I think it's Monday through Friday, so you might want to change that if you don't want your phone to basically be turning on and off every single night. And then you can tap on done. And when it turns on, it's set to 5 in the morning right now. Also, you can tap on it and choose, for instance, only one day when it turns off, and change the time that you wish to the device to power back on. So that is a fairly handy thing. And last thing that I want to show you guys is the developer options, which once again are in the settings right at the bottom, as you can see, developer options right here. And the thing that I'm talking about is the animation scales and durations. And you have 3 different ones for animation duration scale, animation transition scale, and window animation scale. So window animation scale is basically this thing that just popped up right here. Now if I change it to, for instance, 10 times, it will going like super slow, or if I just disable it, it should be now instant without any kind of animation behind it. And you have also for other things like windows. So now if I tap on exit, it will go down super slow instead of basically 10 times longer than it normally takes. But you can also go in here and disable it altogether for the animation to be instant by selecting off like so. And now if I tap on the exit, it is immediate, as you can see. So this is a fairly nice thing to change, in my opinion. It just makes the phone feel a little bit more snappy and allows you to access certain areas of the phone a little bit quicker by removing the animation behind it. So that will basically be it for the tweaks and tricks. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.